Devlin.
You gotta love sport.
The platform.
Ryan Fox online with us. Hey, mate, what are you doing in Quebec?
I got US visas sorted in Ottawa in the last couple of days, and we couldn't be asked flying anywhere for 4 days. So we're up in the hills in Quebec in some rural town called Mont-Tremblant or something.
It's got to be French. I mean, so you practice your two. We were in Paris together, mate. We met there for the World Cup final, so you should be able to speak a little lingo.
Not me. My wife speaks a little bit, but yeah, definitely not me. But it's nice to just chill for a bit. I played 5 weeks in a row. So yeah, nice to have just a week off.
Look, you know, I've been thinking about it, and it's not like it's keeping me awake at night, mate, but I've been thinking about you, and with the family on tour and everything, and 2 little kids, and just the logistics that's involving, you know, booking the Airbnb. I know you have, you know, people that take care of the secretarial stuff for you and that, but it's just the travelling, the moving, the picking up all the kids' stuff into the car, all of that kind of thing. At the same time, you're trying to win a Masters golf tournament. Is it an easy juggle or not at the moment?
I mean, we've got a system for it. I definitely don't think it's easy, but it's manageable. You know, there's a transport guy on tour, and we've got 2 boxes full of stuff with him. Plus, he takes a spare suitcase with all our extra clothing, plus my golf clubs most weeks as well. So that makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, we're still lugging 3 or 4 suitcases around, a bunch of carry-ons, prams, car seats, or you name it. Yeah, pretty much running. Yeah. We run a courtesy car from the PGA Tour and a rental car every week. Yeah, it's pretty hectic, but yeah, I don't know. There's not really another way to do it at the moment, and there's plenty of other guys on tour that do it the same way. They've got a base in the US, so it makes it probably a little bit easier, but they're still lugging the same amount of crap around. So it is what it is. We're at that stage in our lives where, you know, it's never going to be easy with 2 young kids. No matter what happens, I'm either going to be away and missing a whole bunch of stuff, or travel's going to be hard. So at the moment, it's just the travel's hard, and then golf's been hard on top of that, which probably hasn't helped things.
Yeah, look, you'll never regret it, mate. You look back, and I think that, you know, being a father myself, and I'm sure that your dad has said this to you as well, that, you know, you always think, okay, well, if I could just focus on work or concentrate on work, but then 10 years later, you're going to sit there and think, God, I wish I'd spent more time with my kids, you know. So, you know, can I say you're doing the right thing? I mean, I don't want to intrude, but I'd like to pass that on.
Yeah, look, I feel like we're doing the right thing. It's been great traveling with the family. We've had some great experiences and ones that I'll never forget, and I've certainly had some good results with them on the road. I just think the start of the year over here, with everything being new and then trying to do that with the family, has been hard. Whereas, you know, I think if it was through Europe and we know where to stay and what's going on, the logistics get a little bit easier. I think the logistics part of it's been harder this year, especially without visas. Now that's sorted, that should be a little bit easier to work out. And, you know, it's got easier the last couple of months. It's just, you know, we sort of had to hit the ground running, and I'm not sure we did that well, both on the golf course or off the golf course.
Ryan Fox with us, tied for 38th at the Masters, mate. And look, you had a couple of absolute cracking rounds, hit some beautiful shots. I mean, you're leading the tournament at one stage there. At the very start of the weekend, if I'd asked you the question and said, if you'd take a top 50, you probably would have said yes. But at the same time, I know that you'll be feeling really disappointed at the end of that, because it was you were right there up until the day of to the weekend. I mean,
yeah, look, it was one of those weeks. If you'd have given me how I played beforehand with the little form I had and how little confidence I had going in, I certainly would have taken it. And then I actually felt really good out on the golf course, which was a nice change. I played easily the best golf I've played all year, on no doubt the hardest golf course we've played all year, especially, you know, Thursday was pretty brutal in the wind, but at least the greens were soft. Then Friday was just as nasty as it gets. You know, a bunch of guys were quoted as saying that's as hard as I've ever seen Augusta play. And I played really good the first 2 days. And Saturday, Sunday, the golf course was baked out. We had a bit of breeze on Saturday as well. And, yeah, I felt like I played really well and left a bunch out there. And then, you know, had a break on 17 that, you know, kind of pricked the balloon a little bit. You know, I thought I had a really good shot in there and looking like making 3. It had probably a chance of making 2, and all of a sudden I hit the flag and walk off with 7. And, had a bit of a brain explosion down the last and made bogey as well. And it's that kind of deflated me a little bit. It was killed the momentum. And then again on Sunday, I went out and played great, got off to a really good start, and didn't quite have things going my way on the back nine, which seemed to be the trend for the week. And, I'm standing on the 15th with a 3-footer for birdie to go 1 under for the day. And, at that stage, it's probably looking like, finishing in the top 20 or close to it. And then I missed that and double 17 and bogey 18 and kind of walk off going, I've shot 3 over and felt like I played actually really well. And it was a frustrating week, but in a good way. I felt like there was a lot of good out there, and with a little bit of luck, a couple of yards here and there on a bunch of shots, a lot of the scores could have been a lot better. And while I feel like I might not have been able to get to 11 under and challenge Scottie Scheffler, I certainly thought I played well enough to get to the top 5, and that was a nice feeling to walk away from the week with, even though the result wasn't quite there.
That guy, I mean, I just want some emotion from him. I mean, he's just, so calm. He's almost asleep, isn't he? But, when you've played the last 4 tournaments, Ryan, I know you know this, mate. I mean, he's won 3 out of 4 and he lost in the playoff in the other one. He's just playing metronomic golf, isn't he? What was some crazy thing? Like he hasn't had he hasn't had an over par round the whole year or something crazy?
Yeah, I mean, I've played 3 of the 4 tournaments that he's done well in the last 4 weeks. I didn't play Bay Hill, but I played Bay Hill last year, and to go out and shoot 66 in the final round of Bay Hill on a brutal golf course, I think he shot 64 the final round of the Players to win, and that's a brutal golf course. He was 5 foot away from being in the playoff in Houston. I think he missed a 5-footer to get in the playoff, and then obviously what he did, 68 on Sunday at the Masters under all that pressure is seriously impressive. He just doesn't miss a shot. He makes great decisions. His short game's immaculate. When he misses a green, he makes it look really easy. And the only question mark up until the last 4 weeks has probably been his putter. And that hasn't really mattered too much in the last few weeks. It's been serviceable. I don't think he's been the best putter out there, but when you hit it as well as he has, it doesn't really matter. He's made the putts that mattered, and it looks like he's going to be pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, God, I mean, it was just amazing watching him, didn't he? He just destroyed that golf course. The thing that got me, mate, was on the second day watching the bunkers and the sandstorm coming up from it. Is that the windiest you've ever played in?
I don't think it's the windiest. I mean, we've had a couple of rounds in Scotland that have been probably worse, but I think the hardest thing with Augusta is it swirls through the pine trees, and it was really gusty as well that day.